You may have heard already about the theory that's blowing up around the internet right now about how Jar Jar Binks may actually be a Sith Master. So I decided to make this video to explain every single detail for you. So here it is. This is the completely airtight, absolutely foolproof case for why Jar Jar Binks is the most powerful Sith Master in the universe. First of all, Jar Jar executes a 20-foot twisting somersault through the air that, if performed by any other character, you would assume they were either a Jedi or a Sith. As we know, the Jedi themselves are inspired by Shaolin monks, and a convincing theory is that Jar Jar is based off of another traditional martial arts discipline called Zi-Quan. Jar Jar almost single-handedly takes out half a droid army using moves clearly taught in Zi-Quan. Zi-Quan, or Drunken Fist, uses stumbling and staggering as body momentum to be deceptive, unpredictable, and to confuse opponents. And Jar Jar mysteriously is extremely efficient in killing every single time that he is in danger. And as Obi-Wan told us, there is no such thing as luck.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
In another scene, Jar Jar seems to fall from a bridge, although we have seen this done on purpose before by Jedi. And Jar Jar also falls in a completely different place than where he was dangling from. We can prove this because droids can be seen shooting at his original location, and their heads even follow him jump to the other side. Jar Jar could have used a force jump, as we've seen multiple times before by Jedi. Jar Jar is also seen using sleight of hand movements and Jedi mind tricks during key plot points to influence the plot and change people's minds. He even uses them when he is promoted to general, when he's promoted to senator, and while he's persuading an entire galactic senate. Along with using the Force via sleight of hand, Jar Jar is also seen in multiple scenes using Jedi mind control to influence what people say, therefore changing the outcome of important events.
The Queen wishes it. She's curious about the planet.
Queen wishes it. She's curious about the planet. Well, I don't know.
Jar Jar's own species are deathly afraid of him. Seems like less of a reaction to seeing the village idiot and more of a reaction to seeing somebody that you should be very afraid of. Jar Jar mocks Qui-Gon's ability to use the Force, perhaps because Qui-Gon's Force abilities pale in comparison of his own.
The Force will guide us.
Oh, Maxie bit the Force.
If you were wondering why a Sith Master would act like an idiot like Jar Jar does, it's clear that he is just fooling the Jedi so he can manipulate them into trusting him.
You hear that?
Yeah? Clumsy.
You were banished because you were clumsy.
He even pretends to be scared in a deleted scene where his ship is going to fall over a waterfall, even though he can jump 20 feet through the air and he can swim and breathe underwater. Jar Jar also mocks Qui-Gon behind his back and in front of Anakin, teaching Anakin early to disrespect Jedi authority. Jar Jar tells Anakin, an 8-year-old boy, that Padme is hot, fanning the flames for Anakin's infatuation for Padme that is exploited later.
Pretty hot.
Jar Jar also talks to and is very interested in Padme, even before it is revealed that Padme is the real queen. Jar Jar also influences Padme's decision-making when she's at her most uncertain.
We got a grand army.
I've decided to go back to Naboo.
Jar Jar senses that the Jedi are coming without any warnings. He could not have known in any way that they were coming, and he even walks up to the elevator seconds before the Jedi arrive, then pretends to be surprised to see them. When they're escaping Naboo, Jar Jar is the one who sabotages the hyperdrive, which forces them to land on Tatooine in the first place where they meet Anakin. Not to mention, Jar Jar is the reason they keep running into Anakin. Jar Jar is seen suspiciously fiddling around in the back of the ship moments before the hyperdrive mysteriously breaks. R2-D2 even notices he was doing something suspicious, so he gives him a well-deserved smack before he is forced to leave in the elevator to fix the ship's shield generator. In fact, every droid Jar Jar encounters seems to hate him and find him suspicious, and for good reason, because Jar Jar's mind control doesn't work on droids.
You know, I find that Jar Jar creature to be a little odd. Oh, quite right. He's very odd indeed.
So why did George Lucas create this devious Gungan character? Well, here's George Lucas talking about Yoda in a documentary. Yoda really comes from a tradition in mythological storytelling, where the hero finds a creature on the side of the road that seems very insignificant and not very important, but who turns out to be the master wizard. And as we know, Lucas's big deal with the prequels was that they were supposed to rhyme and mirror the original trilogy in terms of narrative themes. So there should be a seemingly innocent creature found at the side of the road that later reveals himself to be the master wizard in the prequels. Don't forget, Yoda was also strangely annoying and dumb until he was revealed to be the most powerful Jedi in the universe.
R2!
So Jar Jar was supposed to reveal himself as the most powerful Sith in the universe, and Yoda was supposed to duel with his literal dark side nemesis and mythological equivalent at the end of Attack of the Clones. Not the meaningless, boring, human Count Dooku who was randomly and hastily written in to cover plot holes when Lucas chickened out and decided not to reveal Jar Jar's powers because of the horrible backlash by the Star Wars community. Lucas even said Jar Jar is the key to all of this.
Jar Jar is the key to all this. If we get Jar Jar working.
Also, the actor who played Jar Jar even tweeted, "I will say this, it feels good when the hidden meaning behind the work is seen, no matter how long it takes." Hashtag The Phantom Menace. Not only is Jar Jar a Sith, but it's very possible that he may not just be working with Palpatine, but possibly the Sith Master above Palpatine, and Palpatine is really the apprentice and pawn of Jar Jar. You may not have noticed, but Jar Jar follows Palpatine everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Even after Qui-Gon's funeral, seconds after Yoda explains how there's always two Siths, a Sith Master and an apprentice, Jar Jar is seen standing right beside Palpatine before he's even supposed to know who Palpatine is. Not to mention that Jar Jar and Palpatine are from the same planet. Out of the millions of planets in the galaxy, Jar Jar and Palpatine both are from Naboo. Jar Jar even convinces Padme to promote him to senator. And Jar Jar is the one who convinces the entire Galactic Senate to abandon democracy and give Emperor Palpatine full control. If it wasn't for Jar Jar, Palpatine would have never risen to power in the first place. The actor who voiced Jar Jar even explains a deleted scene where Palpatine and Jar Jar walk in secret and Palpatine thanks Jar Jar for putting him in power. He also says that George Lucas made big changes in the prequels because of backlash. Also, whenever you think a Sith is the master, you always find out later on that there was always somebody controlling the Sith. You think Darth Vader is the Sith Master, and then it's revealed that Darth Sidious is actually the Sith Master. You think Darth Maul is it, but then it's revealed that Palpatine was actually the mastermind. Even Padme had a decoy queen, and Padme just pretended to be her servant, just in case there was an assassination attempt on the queen. Sound familiar? So from this we can conclude that the one behind the scenes that was controlling everything, the real Phantom Menace, the real Sith Master, was Jar Jar Binks all along.